The galactic archives would later mark it as the day that changed everything, not with thunderous declarations or dramatic fleet movements, but with a simple transmission that cut through centuries of careful observation. To all non-human civilizations monitoring Earth, we know you're there. Admiral Sarah Chen stood before the United Earth Defense Council, her holographic presentation showing dozens of pinpoint locations where alien observation posts had been hiding in plain sight. Some were tucked away in asteroid belts, others disguised as space debris, all of them now exposed by humanity's quantum detection grid. For the past 50 years, Chen continued, her voice steady, we've been aware of the galactic war raging beyond our solar system. We've tracked every battle, analyzed every strategy, and understood every failure. The consortium believes they've been studying us. The reality is that we've been studying them. The council chamber, buried 2 kilometers beneath the Himalayan mountains, fell silent. 12 representatives from Earth's unified nations absorbed the implications of what their head of military intelligence was telling them. The ARXA consortium has lost 42 systems to the Meridian Alliance in the past 3 years. Their conventional warfare doctrine has failed consistently, yet they continue to apply the same tactics, expecting different results. Chen's presentation shifted to show battle footage captured by Earth's deep space probes. They fight like they're still using sailing ships, forming lines of battle in space where 3 dimensions make such formations obsolete. Councillor Patel leaned forward, his weathered face creased with concern. And you believe we can do better? Against species that have been spacefaring for millennia. Chen's response was to bring up a new hologram, this one showing Earth's hidden military preparations. Orbital shipyards concealed within the moon's shadow, quantum-entangled command networks that spanned the solar system, and most importantly, the fruits of Project Prometheus. We had time to prepare, Chen explained. While they watched our civilian space programs stumble and restart, our real advances were happening in secret. We've developed technologies they haven't imagined because they're too set in their ways. They see space as an ocean. We see it as it truly is, a battlefield where conventional rules don't apply. The chamber's air grew heavy with the weight of what came next. Everyone present knew they were discussing not just Earth's reveal to the galactic community, but its debut as a military power. Show them, ordered Council President Alvarez. Chen activated the final part of her presentation. The hologram expanded to show a full tactical simulation of Earth's defense grid. What appeared to be random satellite deployments suddenly linked together, forming an interconnected web of sensors and weapon platforms. But it wasn't the technology that made the council members lean in, it was the strategy. Traditional space combat relies on massive ships and direct confrontation, Chen continued. We've taken a different approach. Our vessels are smaller, faster, and networked. Each ship is part of a greater whole, sharing data and responding to threats in microseconds. We don't need to match their firepower when we can outthink and outmaneuver them. Councillor Zhang, the youngest member present, spoke up. The ARXA are losing their war. Why should we intervene? Because, Chen replied, bringing up new data, the Meridian Alliance isn't fighting for peace. They're fighting for dominance. Our projections show they'll reach our sector within 5 years. If they find Earth, then we'll be seen as a primitive world to be subjugated. If we reveal ourselves now, on our terms, we can shape the outcome of this conflict. The presentation shifted to show Earth's true military capabilities. Quantum-phased shields that could adapt to any weapon frequency, AI-driven combat systems that could process battlefield data faster than organic minds, and most surprisingly, a fleet of ships that had been built and tested in complete secrecy. For centuries, humanity has been divided, fighting amongst ourselves, Chen continued. But those conflicts taught us something valuable: how to innovate, how to adapt, and most importantly, how to end wars decisively. We've learned from every battle in our history, while these civilizations have stagnated in their traditions. President Alvarez stood, her movement drawing all eyes. "What exactly are you proposing, Admiral?" "Operation Looking Glass," Chen replied, bringing up a detailed tactical plan. "We reveal ourselves not as another primitive species seeking protection, but as a military power offering assistance. The ARXA consortium is losing because they don't understand modern warfare. We do. We can end this conflict in days, not years, and in doing so, secure humanity's place among the stars." The council chamber erupted in discussion, but Chen wasn't finished. She brought up one final projection, a timeline showing the potential outcomes of humanity's intervention. "The galaxy sees us as primitives playing with rockets," she concluded, her voice carrying across the heated debates. "They don't realize we've been playing chess while they're still learning checkers. We can end this war, save millions of lives, and ensure Earth's security in a single decisive campaign. But we have to act now, while we still have the element of surprise." The room fell silent again as the implications sank in. Humanity had hidden its true nature for decades, learning and preparing. Now it was time to show the galaxy what Earth was truly capable of. President Alvarez looked around the chamber, meeting each council member's eyes before speaking. "Put it to a vote. Do we authorize Operation Looking Glass?" One by one, the hands went up. The decision was unanimous. Humanity would reveal itself not with diplomacy, but with a demonstration of military prowess that would reshape galactic politics forever. Admiral Chen allowed herself a small smile as she began transmitting orders to Earth's hidden fleet. The galaxy thought they had been watching humanity. They were about to discover just how much they had missed. The Strategic Operations Center beneath Mount Cheyenne hummed with activity as holographic displays showed the positions of every known alien fleet in the sector. Admiral Chen stood at the center of it all, surrounded by Earth's most brilliant military minds as they prepared for humanity's debut on the galactic stage. "Quantum Entanglement Network is operating at 99.8% efficiency," reported Dr. Maya Patel, head of Project Prometheus. Her dark eyes reflected the blue glow of tactical displays as she manipulated data streams with practiced gestures. "All ships are synchronized and ready for neural link activation." Chen nodded, studying the real-time updates from Earth's stealth probes. The ARXA Consortium's 47th Fleet was engaged in yet another losing battle against Meridian Alliance forces at the Proxima Centauri checkpoint. The same tactics, the same results, like watching a chess player repeatedly sacrifice their queen without learning. "Show me the simulation again," Chen ordered, and the central hologram shifted to display Operation Looking Glass in its entirety. It was unlike anything the galaxy had seen before, a strategy that would either cement humanity's place among the stars or expose Earth to devastating retaliation. Colonel James Rivera, Earth's leading expert in space warfare doctrine, stepped forward. "The key is psychological impact," he explained, highlighting key points in the battle plan. "Alien civilizations have fought the same way for millennia. They expect grand fleet actions, ship-to-ship broadsides like ancient naval battles. We're going to show them something different." The hologram zoomed in on Earth's revolutionary Phantom-class vessels. Small, agile, and virtually invisible to conventional sensors, they represented humanity's rejection of traditional space combat doctrine. Each ship carried a crew of just 12, their minds linked through quantum neural interfaces that allowed them to react as one. "We've identified 3 critical weaknesses in current galactic warfare," Rivera continued, bringing up battle footage from recent conflicts. "First, their command and control structure is hierarchical and slow. Second, they rely too heavily on shield strength rather than maneuverability. Third, and most importantly, they have no concept of electronic warfare beyond basic jamming." Dr. Patel interjected, her hands dancing through holographic data. "That's where Project Prometheus comes in. Our neural-linked crews don't just pilot their ships, they become their ships. Combined with our quantum network, we can coordinate complex maneuvers that would be impossible for conventional forces." The room's atmosphere grew tense as they reached the critical point in the briefing. Admiral Chen faced the assembled command staff, her expression grave. What we're proposing isn't just an intervention in their war. We're going to fundamentally change how space combat works. The question is, are we ready for the consequences? The hologram shifted again, showing the potential diplomatic fallout. Earth's emergence as a military power would shock the galactic community. Some would see it as a betrayal, others as a threat. The political implications were as complex as the tactical ones. Consider this, spoke up Dr. Elizabeth Morgan, Earth's leading xenopsychologist. We're not just revealing our military capability, we're challenging their entire worldview. These civilizations have fought the same way for thousands of years. We're about to show them that everything they know about warfare is obsolete. The room fell silent as Morgan's words sank in. She brought up cultural analysis data, showing how alien societies had stagnated, bound by tradition and hierarchy. Their military doctrine isn't just tactics, it's religion. We're about to become heretics. Admiral Chen walked through the holographic display, studying the faces of her command staff. Then let's make sure our heresy is impossible to ignore. Dr. Potel, tell them about the swarm protocol. Petal's expression lit up with fierce pride as she activated a new simulation. The hologram showed hundreds of small, autonomous drones deploying from Earth's ships. These aren't just weapons, she explained. They're an extension of our neural network. Each drone is linked to its parent ship's crew, allowing for coordinated attacks that will appear impossible to outside observers. Colonel Rivera added his own analysis. The Meridian Alliance relies on overwhelming force. The ARXA consortium depends on defensive formations. Neither will be prepared for an enemy that can think and react faster than organic beings, yet with human creativity guiding every move. And that's the real secret of Operation Looking Glass, Chen concluded. We're not just bringing new technology to this fight, we're bringing a new way of thinking. Humanity's greatest strength isn't our ships or our weapons, it's our ability to adapt, to innovate, to see patterns where others see chaos. The hologram shifted one final time, showing the complete battle plan. Earth's fleet would reveal itself not through diplomatic channels, but by decisive action. They would demonstrate their capabilities by doing what no other civilization had managed, ending a battle before it began. Final checks, Chen ordered, and the command staff rushed to their stations. Around the world, hidden launch facilities prepared for activation. In orbital shipyards concealed from prying eyes, crews took their positions, preparing to link their minds with their vessels. Dr. Morgan's voice cut through the activity. Remember, the psychological impact of what we're about to do will ripple through the galaxy for generations. We're not just winning a battle, we're shattering paradigms that have existed for millennia. Admiral Chen nodded, watching as the final preparations were made. Earth had hidden in plain sight for decades, learning, preparing, evolving. Now it was time to show the galaxy that humanity hadn't just caught up to their level of advancement, they had surpassed it in ways the aliens couldn't imagine. Send the signal, she ordered. Operation Looking Glass begins now. Across the solar system, humanity's hidden fleet awakened. In the war room, the assembled leaders watched as their carefully laid plans began to unfold. They weren't just joining a war, they were about to revolutionize it. The galaxy had no idea what was coming. The void between stars erupted with activity as Earth's hidden fleet dropped their quantum stealth fields. 300 Phantom-class vessels materialized simultaneously, their obsidian hulls absorbing what little starlight reached this battlefield. In the war room, Admiral Chen watched through the neural network as the first phase of Operation Looking Glass began. Multiple contacts registering shock patterns, reported Captain Sarah Wu from the flagship Artemis. Her consciousness was merged with her ship's systems, experiencing space in ways no alien race had conceived possible. The Meridian Alliance fleet is attempting to reorient their formation. ARXA forces are breaking defensive positions. The holographic display showed the chaos unfolding across the battlefield. Both alien fleets had frozen in their tracks, their ongoing battle forgotten at the sudden appearance of an unknown force. Their sensor systems were going haywire, unable to properly categorize human vessels that defied conventional design philosophy. Strike Teams Alpha through Delta initiate swarm protocol, Chen ordered, her voice calm despite the historical magnitude of the moment. Execute Pattern Hydra. What happened next would be studied in military academies across the galaxy for centuries to come. From each human vessel, clouds of autonomous drones emerged, their movements coordinated through the neural network. They didn't move like machines, they flowed like schools of fish, organic and unpredictable. By the progenitors came an intercepted transmission from the Meridian flagship. What are we seeing? They were seeing warfare evolve beyond their comprehension. The human drones didn't target ships directly. Instead, they created three-dimensional geometric patterns that disrupted shield harmonics and sensor systems. It was electronic warfare elevated to an art form. Phase 2, Chen commanded. Activate quantum interference fields. Dr. Patel's voice came through the neural link, tinged with pride. QIF generators online, preparing to demonstrate why fighting humans in 3 dimensions is a bad idea. The space around Earth's fleet began to distort. To alien sensors, it would appear as if reality itself was folding. This wasn't just technology, it was humanity's understanding of spatial physics made manifest. The Phantom-class ships began moving in ways that should have been impossible, crossing vast distances by bending space rather than traveling through it. Multiple enemy vessels attempting to lock weapons, reported Colonel Rivera from his tactical station. Their targeting systems are failing. They can't track our quantum signatures. Chen allowed herself a small smile. Launch infiltration pods. Let's show them why depending on shields alone is a critical mistake. From the belly of each human vessel, sleek pods shot forth. Unlike the brutal boarding craft used by alien races, these were designed for stealth and precision. Each contained a squad of neural-linked Marines, their combat suits allowing them to interface directly with their equipment. First penetration successful, came the report from Major Elena Santos, leading the Marine deployment. Enemy shields didn't even register our passage. We're inside their command ships. The alien fleets were now in complete disarray. The Meridian Alliance vessels, mighty dreadnoughts that had never known defeat, found themselves infiltrated by an enemy they couldn't detect. The Arxa ships, renowned for their impenetrable defenses, discovered that their shields meant nothing against an opponent who could simply bypass them. Their command structure is collapsing, Dr. Morgan observed, monitoring the psychological impact of the human assault. They've never encountered an enemy that attacks from inside and outside simultaneously. Their doctrine has no protocol for this. Through the neural network, Chen could feel the synchronized actions of every ship, every drone, every Marine. Humanity moved as one organism, adapting and reacting faster than any hierarchical command structure could match. This wasn't just combat, it was evolution in action. Meridian flagship is attempting to coordinate a counterattack, reported Captain Wu. They're trying to form a traditional battle line. Chen shook her head at the predictability. Execute Pattern Kraken. Show them why linear thinking in 3-dimensional space is suicide. The human fleet dissolved into apparent chaos, their formations breaking apart in ways that would have horrified traditional naval commanders. But there was order in the chaos, a deadly dance choreographed through the neural network. Each ship knew its role, each drone its purpose, all working in perfect harmony. Enemy shields failing across all sectors, Rivera announced. Their weapons can't track our position shifts. We're inside their response curve. Inside the alien vessels, human Marines were systematically disabling key systems. They moved like ghosts through the corridors, their neural links allowing them to see through walls and coordinate without speaking. To the alien crews, it must have seemed like their ships were being dismantled by invisible hands. Arxa fleet attempting to retreat, Dr. Patel reported. Their faster-than-light drives are spooling up. Let them, Chen ordered. But first, demonstrate our superiority in one more way. Activate the temporal distortion fields. This was humanity's trump card, technology that could locally alter the flow of time itself. The retreating Arxa vessels suddenly found themselves moving in slow motion, their escape attempt reduced to a crawl while human ships operated at normal speed. By all that's sacred came another intercepted transmission, this time from an Arxa commander. What manner of demons are these? The answer was simple. They were human, a species that had spent its entire history fighting, learning, and evolving. While alien civilizations had stagnated in their traditions, humanity had never stopped pushing boundaries. All primary targets neutralized, Captain Wu reported. Enemy command and control networks are offline. Their fleets are effectively blind and deaf. Admiral Chen surveyed the battlefield through the neural network. The mighty fleets that had clashed here just minutes ago were now in ruins, not through destruction, but through systematic dismantling. Humanity had demonstrated its power not by obliterating its opponents, but by rendering them helpless with surgical precision. Send the message, she ordered, to all vessels of the Meridian Alliance and Arxa Consortium. Your ships have been compromised. Your weapons are offline. Your shields are irrelevant. You are experiencing firsthand why humanity chose to remain hidden until we were ready to reveal ourselves. Consider this a demonstration of what happens when you underestimate Earth. The response was immediate and predictable. Surrender signals began broadcasting from both fleets. In less than 15 minutes, humanity had done what neither side had managed in years of war, achieved total tactical superiority. But Chen knew this was just the beginning. The galaxy would never be the same after today. Humanity had changed the rules of warfare forever, and the ripples of this battle would echo across the cosmos for generations to come. She announced to the war room. The real war is about to begin. At the heart of Earth's Strategic Operations Center, a new form of consciousness emerged. The quantum neural network, linking thousands of human minds across the fleet, had evolved beyond its creator's expectations. Dr. Maya Potel stood transfixed as the holographic display showed neural patterns she'd never seen before. The network, it's adapting, she whispered, her fingers dancing through streams of data. It's not just connecting our ships anymore, it's learning. Admiral Chen moved to her side, watching as complex patterns formed and dissolved in the neural web. Explain. Our crews aren't just sharing information, Patel said, highlighting specific neural clusters. They're creating a collective battle consciousness. Each engagement teaches the network new strategies, which it instantly distributes across the fleet. We're not just fighting smarter, we're evolving during combat. The implications were staggering. While alien civilizations relied on rigid command structures and predetermined tactics, humanity had created something organic, adaptive, and growing more sophisticated by the second. Multiple hostile fleets detected, announced Colonel Rivera, his voice tight with anticipation. The Meridian Alliance is deploying their legendary 7th Armada. 15,000 ships, Admiral. They're taking us seriously now. Chen's expression remained neutral, but her mind was already connected to the neural network, feeling the collective readiness of Earth's forces. Show me. The holographic display expanded, revealing waves of alien vessels converging on human positions. The 7th Armada was the stuff of galactic legend, undefeated in its 1,000-year history, commanded by Admiral Cuthrall, the most decorated officer in Meridian space. They're deploying in the Crimson Spear formation, Rivera noted, highlighting the enemy's battle plan. It's their most aggressive stance. Cuthrall means to overwhelm us with pure force. Dr. Morgan's voice cut through the tension. Psychologically, they're responding exactly as predicted. Our demonstration of superior technology has triggered their warrior culture's deepest instincts. They're not just trying to defeat us, they're trying to prove their entire way of life isn't obsolete. That's their mistake, Chen replied, connecting deeper into the neural network. They think this is about technology. Show them why Earth's greatest weapon isn't our ships, it's how we think. Initiate Protocol Omega. Across the battlefield, human vessels began moving in patterns that defied conventional military logic. The neural network had analyzed thousands of years of alien combat data, identifying not just tactical patterns but cultural blind spots. Every alien civilization fought according to deeply ingrained traditions. Humanity would use those traditions against them. Swarm units deploying, Captain Wu reported from the Artemis. Neurals sync at 100%. The network is suggesting new configurations. The autonomous drones emerged from Earth's ships, but this time they moved differently. The network had evolved new tactics, creating formations that exploited weaknesses in alien sensor systems that even the aliens didn't know existed. My God, Patel breathed, watching the data streams. The network isn't just coordinating our forces, it's predicting enemy responses before they happen. It's seen enough of their battle doctrine to calculate their decisions in advance. The 7th Armada's formation, impressive in its scale and precision, began to fall apart as human forces struck at predicted weak points. Each attack wasn't just damaging, it was psychologically calculated to disrupt the enemy's cultural expectations of how combat should unfold. They're trying to adapt, Rivera reported, a note of awe in his voice. Cathrol is attempting to break from traditional formations, but the network, it's already accounting for every possible variation. Through the neural link, Chen could feel the collective consciousness of Earth's forces working in perfect harmony. Each crew member was both individual and part of something greater, their combined experience and creativity magnified by the network's quantum processing power. Multiple breaches detected in enemy command ships, reported Major Santos, her marine teams already moving through alien vessels like ghosts. Their crews are, they're panicking, Admiral. Our presence inside their ships violates every combat doctrine they've ever known. The holographic display showed the full scope of humanity's dominance. The mighty 7th Armada, terror of the galaxy, was being systematically dismantled not through brute force, but through perfect tactical execution. Every human ship, every drone, every marine moved with purpose, their actions coordinated by an intelligence that grew more sophisticated with each passing moment. Admiral Cathrol is requesting direct communication, Dr. Morgan announced. His psychological patterns indicate severe stress. The complete failure of traditional tactics has shaken his fundamental beliefs about warfare. Chen nodded. Put him through. Let's show them that humanity can be merciful in victory. The hologram shifted to show the alien admiral, his ceremonial armor doing little to hide his agitation. What manner of warfare is this? Cathrol demanded. You violate every principle of honorable combat. No, Admiral, Chen replied calmly. We've simply moved beyond the limitations of tradition. Your concepts of honor in warfare are based on technologies and tactics that became obsolete centuries ago. Humanity learned to adapt, to evolve. We don't fight according to rules designed for past wars. The alien commander's expression shifted from anger to something closer to dawning comprehension. Your neural network, it's not just a weapon system, is it? It's a new form of consciousness. The first of many innovations your civilizations will need to understand, Chen confirmed. This demonstration isn't about defeating your fleet, Admiral. It's about showing the galaxy that the old ways of thinking about warfare, about technology, about consciousness itself, they're all going to change. Through the neural network, Chen could feel the collective satisfaction of Earth's forces. They had proven not just their military superiority, but the power of human adaptability and innovation. The 7th Armada stands down, Cathrol announced, his voice heavy with the weight of history. Humanity has proven itself, beyond our understanding. We await your terms. But even as the alien fleet began powering down their weapons, Dr. Patel's voice cut through the moment of triumph. Admiral, the network is detecting something new, patterns we've never seen before, approaching from the galactic core. Chen turned her attention to the new data, feeling the first stirrings of concern through the neural link. They had changed the rules of warfare in the galaxy, but perhaps they weren't the only ones who had been hiding their true capabilities. "Well," she said, watching as strange energy signatures appeared at the edge of their sensor range, "it seems the galaxy still has some surprises left." The next phase of humanity's emergence onto the galactic stage was about to begin, and it promised to be even more revolutionary than the first. The mysterious energy signatures from the galactic core resolved into something that made even Admiral Chen pause. Through the neural network, every human crew member felt the same mix of awe and concern as the sensors revealed what they were facing. "Analysis complete," Dr. Potel announced, her voice tight with tension. "We're detecting quantum-level technology we've never seen before. Whatever these entities are, they're operating on principles that make our own advances look primitive." The holographic display showed what appeared to be tiers in space itself, through which emerged vessels that defied conventional physics. They weren't ships in the traditional sense. They were manifestations of pure energy, maintaining form through unknown means. "The precursors," Dr. Morgan breathed, her xenopsychology training struggling to process what they were seeing. "Every alien civilization has myths about them. The first spacefaring race said to have transcended physical form. We thought they were legends." Admiral Chen connected deeper into the neural network, feeling the collective thoughts of Earth's forces as they processed this development. "Status of the 7th Armada." "Still powered down," Colonel Rivera reported. "Admiral Cuthrall is requesting permission to reactivate systems. He's afraid, Admiral. These entities trigger deep cultural memories in their species." Chen made a quick decision. "Grant permission. Whatever we're facing, we might need every ally we can get." "Dr. Patel, what's the network telling us about these new arrivals?" The scientist's hands danced through streams of data, her expression growing more concerned by the second. "The network is evolving rapidly in response. It's generating new theoretical frameworks for quantum physics just by observing them. But there's something else. These entities are trying to communicate." As if on cue, every display in the Strategic Operations Center flickered. A voice that wasn't quite a voice resonated through the neural network, bypassing conventional communication channels entirely. "Humans," it said, but the words seemed inadequate to describe the concept being conveyed. "You have altered the designated path of development." Chen stood firm, her mind linked with thousands of others through the network. "We've demonstrated our right to determine our own path of development. If you're who we think you are, you've been watching us for a very long time." "Correct," the entity responded. "Your species was designated for observation for another 1,000 years. Your rapid advancement and military innovation represents an anomaly that must be addressed." Through the neural network, Chen felt the collective determination of humanity strengthen. They hadn't hidden their capabilities and prepared for decades just to be told they had developed too quickly. "The network is detecting energy buildups," Patel reported urgently. "They're not hostile, exactly, but they're preparing to do something on a scale we can barely comprehend." "We offer a choice," the precursor entity announced. "Accept regression to your designated development level or face evaluation through combat. You have 5 of your hours to decide." The Strategic Operations Center erupted in activity. 5 hours to prepare for combat against beings that had transcended physical form, or accept technological regression that would erase decades of human advancement. "Analysis of their energy patterns complete," Captain Wu reported from the Artemis. "The network has been processing their quantum signatures. They're advanced, yes, but they're not infallible. There are patterns, weaknesses." Chen smiled grimly. "Of course there are. Everything that exists has patterns, and patterns can be analyzed, predicted, and countered." "Dr. Patel, what is the network suggesting?" The scientist's eyes widened as she processed the data. "It's incredible. The network isn't just analyzing their technology, it's proposing ways to transcend our own physical limitations. We don't need to match their level of advancement. We just need to think differently about the nature of reality itself. Explain, Chen ordered, feeling the excitement ripple through the neural network. They exist as pure energy, operating on quantum principles, Plato continued, bringing up complex theoretical models. But they're still bound by the laws of physics, just different laws than we usually work with. The network is suggesting we use their own transcendence against them. Colonel Rivera's tactical display updated with new strategies. If we reconfigure our quantum interference fields to match their frequency, we could essentially hack reality itself, turn their mastery of energy against them. The Meridian and Arxa fleets are offering their support, Dr. Morgan added. Seeing these legends appear has united them. They're asking to link their ships into our neural network. Chen considered the implications. In less than 5 hours, humanity would either submit to technological regression or attempt something unprecedented, using their neural network to coordinate a battle against beings that existed as pure energy. Begin the modifications, she ordered. Link in any alien vessel that volunteers. We're about to attempt the greatest technological leap in human history, and we're going to do it in less than 5 hours. The next few hours were a blur of activity. Human and alien crews worked together, guided by the ever-evolving neural network. Ships were modified, strategies were developed, and reality itself was prepared for manipulation. 1 hour remaining, announced Rivera. All ships report ready. The network has distributed the new protocols. The moment of confrontation arrived with a ripple through spacetime itself. The precursor entities, beings of pure energy that had watched civilizations rise and fall for millions of years, faced humanity's combined fleet. Through the neural network, Admiral Chen felt the resolve of every consciousness, human and alien alike, unified in purpose. Network synchronization at unprecedented levels, Dr. Patel reported, her voice filled with wonder. The quantum modifications are holding. We're seeing consciousness integration across all species. The network is evolving beyond anything we designed it for. The precursor entities pulsed with power, their very presence distorting the fabric of reality. Your evaluation begins, they announced through the quantum field. Demonstrate your worth. What followed would be remembered throughout the galaxy as the moment everything changed. The human fleet, augmented by their alien allies and guided by the evolved neural network, didn't just fight, they rewrote the rules of existence itself. Execute protocol transcendence, Shen commanded. Her consciousness merged with the collective will of the fleet. Every ship activated their modified quantum interference fields simultaneously. The network had learned from observing the precursors, understanding that physical form was merely one state of being. Instead of trying to match their energy weapons or superior technology, humanity did something unprecedented. They began shifting between states of matter and energy. By the eternal void, breathed Admiral Cuthrall through the network link. They're attempting to match the precursor's level of existence. But they weren't matching it, they were changing it. The neural network had discovered something the precursors, for all their advancement, had missed. Reality wasn't a fixed set of rules, it was a consensus of consciousness. Phase shift complete, Captain Wu announced from the Artemis. The network it's incredible. We're existing in multiple states simultaneously, physical and energy, matter and thought. The precursor's first attack came as a wave of pure quantum energy, designed to disrupt the very atomic structure of physical ships. But humanity's fleet shifted, becoming energy when the attack would have hit matter, becoming matter when it would have disrupted energy. They're adapting, Dr. Morgan observed, monitoring the precursor's reactions. For the first time in their existence, they're facing an opponent that can change the rules of engagement itself. Through the neural network, Chen directed the fleet in a dance of reality and unreality. Ships phase between dimensions, their crews' consciousnesses guiding them through states of existence the precursors had thought impossible for lesser beings to achieve. The network is proposing something radical, Patel announced, her hands trembling as she interpreted the data. It's not just about matching their level of existence. We can go beyond it. The combined consciousness of multiple species, all thinking differently, all approaching reality from unique perspectives, it's creating something new. Chen understood immediately. All ships, prepare for convergence protocol. Let's show them why diversity of thought is more powerful than technological superiority. The human fleet, joined by their Meridian and Arxo allies, began moving in patterns that defied comprehension. Each species contributed their unique understanding of reality to the network, creating a synthesis of consciousness that transcended individual limitations. The precursors launched another attack, this time attempting to unravel the quantum fields holding the fleet together. But where they expected to find primitive beings struggling to grasp advanced concepts, they encountered something unprecedented, a collective consciousness that could imagine new laws of physics and make them real. Network stability at 200% of theoretical maximum, Patel reported in disbelief. The alien crews, their different ways of thinking are actually strengthening our quantum fields. We're not just surviving their attacks, we're growing stronger with each one. Through the neural link, Chen felt the moment the precursors realized what they were facing. These weren't just upstart beings defying their designated path of development. This was evolution itself, consciousness reaching for new possibilities in ways even they hadn't imagined. Remarkable, the precursor entities communicated, their energy patterns shifting in what might have been uncertainty. You do not merely adapt, you transform the very nature of adaptation. That's humanity's gift to the galaxy, Chen responded through the network. We don't accept limitations. We don't follow predetermined paths. We imagine new possibilities and make them real. The precursors' energy patterns fluctuated, conferring among themselves in ways beyond normal perception. When they spoke again, their tone had changed. The evaluation is complete, they announced, but not as we intended. You have not merely proven your worth, you have demonstrated that our entire system of evaluation is flawed. The human fleet maintained their reality-shifting formation, the neural network humming with a combined consciousness of multiple species. They had done more than win a battle. They had changed the fundamental relationship between advanced and emerging civilizations. Your species was designated for observation, the precursors continued, because we believe development must follow a linear path. You have shown us that consciousness can leap forward through creativity and cooperation, finding paths we never imagined. Through the neural network, Chen felt the collective relief and pride of every crew member. Then our status, she asked, though she already knew the answer. Not just your status, the precursors replied. The status of all species. The age of designated paths is over. You have shown us that true advancement comes not from following established patterns, but from breaking them entirely. The energy beings began to fade, their form shifting to something even more abstract. We withdraw to reconsider our role in galactic development. The future belongs to those who can imagine it differently. As the precursors vanished, leaving behind a galaxy forever changed, Admiral Chen turned to her combined fleet of humans and former enemies. Through the neural network, she felt the birth of something new, a civilization where consciousness itself was the final frontier. Send word to Earth, she ordered, feeling the weight of history in her words. Tell them that humanity hasn't just earned its place among the stars. We've changed what that place means. The neural network hummed with possibilities as the fleet began its journey home. They had started with a demonstration of military prowess and ended by transforming the very nature of existence. Humanity had done more than prove itself. It had shown the galaxy that the only true limits were the ones consciousness accepted. And in the vast depths of space, the combined fleet moved as one, their minds linked in a network that continued to evolve, continued to imagine new possibilities. They had faced beings who had transcended physical form and shown them that true transcendence wasn't about power or technology. It was about the ability to dream beyond the boundaries of what was thought possible. The dawn of a new era had arrived, and it belonged to those who dared to think differently.